Hey, it's Dr. Jeff with DebtFreeDR.com. Today, we're going to get into part two of the ultimate strategy guide that what it takes to get into hotel investing. Now, if you missed part one, we actually talked about the different ways that somebody could invest in hotels. If you missed that video, no worries. I'll put a link in the section below. All right, let's get going. So today what I want to talk about is the 5 reasons that you should consider investing in hotels or hotel type investments. All right. Number one, and in my opinion, this is the top reason to invest in real estate, specifically syndications passively, is the tax benefits. And real estate ownership is one of the most tax efficient investments that you can hold in your overall portfolio. Now, the IRS actually loves real estate owners, and they own those that start small businesses. And it's for this reason that they offer us a gift. Yes, the IRS offers a gift. And that gift is actually something called depreciation. And what this is a tax break that allows you to write off the value of an asset over time. Depreciation is one of the top wealth building tools available, which is why the majority of millionaires, roughly 90%, they have real estate in their portfolio. As most things typically lose their value with the passage of time, such as this computer that this computer screen that I'm looking at right now, or a cell phone, the IRS actually allows us to take a tax deduction for that declining value. And this tax deduction is called depreciation. So here's the cool thing. Even though that real estate typically appreciates over time, the IRS still allows us, the taxpayer, to claim this depreciation. And this tax advantage applies to hotels too, as these investments have a variety of real, personal, and intangible property um, that's accounted for with this investment. All right, so tax benefits for number one. Number two is hotels, as you know, you're able to, or they able to be leased out nightly. So as you're well aware, hotel rooms are typically sold by the night. And the cool thing is this represents a unique opportunity to actually, when you're a hotel owner, to increase revenue. Case in point, we love to go snow skiing. My family loves to go. We have a particular place around the Beaver Creek area called Bachelor's Gulch that we typically go to each year. Most ski resort hotels typically increase their revenue during peak times. And for this particular one, and probably for most of the hotels that if you go there, you go to ski, the the week just before and just after Christmas is their peak season. And this is when they typically really hike up the prices. And we love to stay there, but during this Christmas week, I just honestly I can't bring myself to pay double, sometimes triple the amount each night. But you know what? They know, as you know, it all boils down to supply and demand, and there's definitely a demand at that time. And typically, these are booked, so they know that there's going to be this many people coming in. They're going to get everything they can during that time of influx. All right, so that's number two. Number three is something called a cost segregation. And what this is, cost segregation actually allows those who have constructed, purchased, expanded, or remodeled any type of real estate asset to increase cash flow by accelerating. We get to accelerate that depreciation we just talked about. So you accelerate the depreciation deductions and defer income taxes. The primary goals of a cost segregation study is to identify the hotel development construction related costs that can be depreciated over a shorter lifetime period. And this is typically 5, 7, or 15 years, rather than typically the 39 years for non-residential real property. And what this does, this is going to help reduce income tax obligation, which in turn increases your cash flow. So, and I broke this down as an example for you to take a look at. So, if you look at the 5-year tax life components, these could be personal property. This could be things such as carpets. This could be lighting. This could be cabinetry. This could be, ceiling fans, anything like that. That's considered personal property assets. That could actually be accelerated and depreciated. Instead of that 39 and a half years spread out, it actually be accelerated to depreciate over a 5-year period. So you're getting these tax benefits much, much quicker. 7 years, anything telecommunication related, cable, telephone, etc. 15-year tax life components, that would be anything that you do to your property to improve the land. It could be parking lots, parking lot improvement, driveways, sidewalks, curbs, landscaping, irrigation, anything like that. So that is something that typically you would get an engineer. So when you invest in these properties, the operator or group, they hire an engineer that are specialized in these studies. They'll come in, they'll do it, and they'll identify the different areas that can have this accelerated depreciation. All right, so that's number 3. So number 4 is hotels can have a value add potential. And some of the different ones that I broke them down are renovations. Who think about it? Who wants to stay in a rundown hotel? And it's for this reason that whenever somebody owns a hotel, they can continue to add value by keeping their independent hotels that they own up to date by frequent updating, frequent renovations to keep up with the changing times. Um, so that's one way. Second is capitalization. Now, money is made in real estate when it's purchased. You've probably heard the phrase, the money's made on the buy. So this is true with apartments, homes, and hotels too. So when it's purchased, uh, that's when the money is made. So what this means is you want to make sure that these groups, they find the right asset at the right time. And again, this plays a huge role in profitability. Third way, value add potential is in operations. So revenue can be easily optimized and expenses can be lowered basically for free. And you're probably thinking, wait, how is it free? Similar to most businesses, those in the hotel sector are also in the people business. So giving great customer service doesn't cost any money to do that. That can be provided for free. You can do that to increase customer loyalty and overall profitability. All right, that's number 4. And last, but certainly not least, is something that is one of the main reasons why most people, including myself, invest in real estate. It's for the cash flow. Now, if there's one thing that the 2020 pandemic taught us is that having additional income streams are a must, right? Being unable to practice dentistry for us in Louisiana for 2 months was a huge wake up call. And for many of us, it kind of woke us up to, you know what, we probably need to start looking at our finances a lot more closely. Uh, Unfortunately, most physicians, dentists, other high income earners, they only have one active or earned income source. And unfortunately, this is actually the highest taxed income source of them all. And this is what Robert Kiyosaki teaches us with the cash flow quadrant. On the left side of the quadrant, if you're an employee or self-employed, you're taxed the most. He calls that, quote, the poor side. On the right side is the business owner or the investor. That's what he calls the rich side. And those are taxed the least. Sometimes you're not taxed at all. So the goal is to get from the left side to the right side. And the majority of those on the right side, the business owner and investor, have multiple streams of income. Plus, they have systems in place. They have their money, their assets paying them instead of them trading time for money. And If you completely and focus on your whole life of you have to physically be somewhere to earn money, then you're always going to be a slave to that job. So yes, I understand that developing these additional income sources, it does take time and work, but you know what doesn't? But as soon as our paychecks are threatened, it sure does make it all seem worthwhile to put in that extra time for extra money in case another pandemic hits. Who knows? These hotel syndication investments can be a great source to provide high returns with additional income streams from these different cash flow distributions that you're going to get. Typically, these are paid out quarterly, just like if you were to invest in a multifamily apartments. The deal closes in 6 months typically. The deal will close, and then 6 months later, you start getting quarterly distributions throughout the whole period. So, bottom line, look, as with any type of syndication, you want to make sure you perform your due diligence with any sponsor or operator, even in these hotel projects. So this is the number one consideration, okay? The most important thing. It's not the deal, it's not the asset, it's not the returns, it's not where it's located, it's who you're investing with. I cannot stress this enough. A great way that hotel investors can accomplish this, just go out and try to network and with other investors, and then seek operators with a solid track record. And you want to consider asking these different sponsors, for a list of current or maybe previous investors. You can contact them, you can interview them regarding their experience that they've had with the sponsor that you may be investing with. Now, you also want to ask them how many deals they've had to go full cycle, and basically they've purchased it for whatever the whole period, and then they've sold it. So that's going full cycle. What were the realized returns versus what were they projecting the returns to be? You want to look at both, and then any additional information they can provide regarding previous deals will allow you to better vet them. So remember, these people will be your investment partners over that 4 to 7 year hold period. So you want to make sure that you find those that you like, that you can get along with, that are trustworthy individuals. This will go a long way in making you be at ease while your money is making money for you. If you haven't hit the subscribe button, go ahead and do so. The little bell icon, click that too. Then you will get any of these new videos that I will be putting out as soon as they're published. Again, I'm Dr. Jeff with debtfreedr.com. Hope you have a great day. Take care.